Yo, it's your boy DZ, man. If you ain't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Fani Willis, she has admitted to a personal relationship with that prosecutor, man. And, you know, she's a lawyer, so she knows to take her time and do things wisely when you respond to certain things, because once you say something and put it in a certain context, ain't no taking it back at that level. So that's why she responded in a court filing. But I'm going to let y'all hear the news clip of, you know, what the news saying, CBS. And she's admitting to it, man. You know what I mean? What y'all think about it, man? Y'all think that she should suffer consequences? But she's saying she didn't do anything wrong. She's saying that, yeah, they had a personal relationship, but it didn't affect the work, and it didn't compromise the work stuff. So, I mean, check it out, man. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about it, man. And subscribe to the channel, man. It's your boy DZ. Hit that like button and share this video.
We are tracking some breaking news for you right now. CBS News has learned exclusively in a filing by Fulton County District Attorney's Office an acknowledgement that Fani Willis engaged in a relationship with attorney Nathan Wade. You, of course, recall that both are working on the Georgia election interference case involving former President Donald Trump.
Joining us now with more on Willis's response is CBS News investigative producer Daniel Kleidman. Daniel, extraordinary reporting. Tell us what you've learned here, particularly about how Willis is expected to respond.
Well, CBS News obtained a draft of the filing, the response to the motion that had all these allegations about her having a relationship with Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor who she hired to lead the Trump investigation. And first of all, it acknowledges that there was a relationship between them, but it pushes back very hard on some of the facts that were alleged, but also on the idea that this represented any kind of conflict of interest that could lead to her disqualification from the case or dismissal against any of the defendants.
And you have that filing in front of you.
I do.
What stands out to you? What are the headlines?
Well, you know, one of the most, I think, important things in this filing is actually an affidavit, a sworn affidavit by Nathan Wade that is an exhibit. And I'll read it. He says in this affidavit, in 2022, District Attorney Willis and I developed a personal relationship in addition to our professional association and friendship. So there's the acknowledgement of the relationship. But importantly, he also says that relationship did not begin until 2022. My understanding is it's early to mid-2022. He was hired for this position by Fani Willis in November of 2021. That is an important distinction because of the suggestion that she hired someone she was having a romantic relationship with and someone who had come under some criticism for not maybe having all of the credentials needed for a case like this. They also push back on that, by the way. The affidavit lays out in detail his experience as a lawyer, including having done a lot of felony cases in both state court and federal court.
Do we have a sense at all? I know, obviously, this is all still developing, but what this could mean in terms of consequences? I mean, what are the chances that Fani Willis might step aside now?
Well, this is the question that everyone wants to know, and there's a hearing that Judge Scott McAfee, who's the presiding judge in this case, has scheduled for February 15th, an evidentiary hearing where he's going to have to hear some of the evidence and then rule on this motion. Look, the bar is high for disqualification on the basis of conflicts of interest. And this is the argument that Fani Willis and her team make here, that they had no vested interest, financial or otherwise, in a conviction in this case, beyond wanting to do justice, beyond wanting to vindicate the rights of people in Georgia and in Fulton County. So the idea that the certain financial entanglements between Fani Willis and Nathan Wade could have somehow biased the investigation, they say that is not true at all. One other important detail in the filing is the allegation was that Nathan Wade and Fani Willis went on vacations together, Caribbean cruises, lavish vacations, and that Nathan Wade paid for that from money that she was authorizing paying him for this job. And that was potentially a misuse of taxpayer funds, potentially added to the idea of a conflict of interest. What they reveal in this filing was that they actually alternated paying for some of these trips, and Fani Willis actually paid for some of them as well. And there are actually receipts for Delta flights to Miami that Fani Willis paid herself.
So, Daniel, if the report comes out and says there was no misuse of taxpayer funding, that it was not an inappropriate relationship, and that he was not hired by Willis because of a relationship, why not come forward with this from the beginning? Why wait until there are rumors and innuendo and still not?
It's an excellent question. A lot of us were wondering that. My understanding from the sources that I've talked to who are close to Fani Willis is that, first of all, she was reluctant to put a lot of facts out there and information out there before they had all of their ducks in a row in case things were contradicted or they made mistakes. That wouldn't have been good. And then there was also the kind of usual and predictable tension between the lawyers and the more sort of PR-minded people in her office. The lawyers are always reluctant to put a lot of facts out there that they feel they don't need to vindicate their legal arguments.
Yeah. Real quick, though, in this filing, because there have been a lot of allegations, is there any substance to any of those impropriety allegations?
Well, they
or
certainly
does this clear them?
But look, I mean, this is their motion in response to the allegations. So this is their position. There will be a hearing. Both sides will have the opportunity to present their cases. So this doesn't end this controversy, but it is the first time we are hearing in any detail what they're saying about it. And they push back pretty hard. Let me just read you very quickly. They're fairly dismissive of the defense's original motion. They say this is not an example of zealous advocacy, nor is it a good faith effort to develop a record on a disputed legal issue. It is a ticket to the circus.
All right. Major development. Daniel, thank you so much for coming in and bringing that to us.
Absolutely.
We are tracking some breaking news.
Hey, listen, man. See, this is what it takes, though. It takes for some people on the inside to come out with the information, for the information to get put out there. Because she has her foot on Trump's neck, and Trump's people, all of his crew, she wasn't going to put this information that the person that she got on Trump's neck, that she put him in position. Why would she do that? She knows the game. Their game is played their way. But this is the things that happen when somebody in their circle knows what's going on. Now, if it was just a regular person that had a case, right, that didn't know anything about what goes on in these inner circles, this information would have never been brought up. So, when you're going through something and you're a regular person in the world and you're a citizen that might get into a situation, you won't know these things. This is inside information. These are the games that they play. They human too. But people look at these people like they don't do certain things. They robots. So they put these people on a different standard of life until reality of these people being human come out. It's going to be more things that come out. They're going to dig into the funds to see if they were using the exact money that came from the state to do certain things, when they're saying that Fani paid for some flights, Nathan paid for some flights. So they had a personal relationship, but being as though that they had this relationship, they sat down and talked about how they was going to put the money in the circle. You better know that. They done talked about how they're going to keep the money amongst them. because they do this for money. They don't do this job just to do the job. It's a business to them. So they're going to work a certain system to make sure that the money stays within them. And they're trying to filing to not get themselves removed off the case. But that decision doesn't come down to them. They can put the paperwork in, and a judge is going to look into it, not knowing if the judge is probably already feeling some type of way, being as though that this information had to come out through one of the defendants filing a court document to get this information out there. But they wasn't going to let people know that they were in a relationship and that the guy had made $650,000 when the other people one made $90,000 and the other one made $70,000. They wasn't going to reveal that information. But somebody with the knowledge was able to dig into it. Which, as if you as a regular person get in a situation, you don't have the knowledge to get in those rooms. It's a game. You have to have the knowledge and the access to get in these rooms to be able to break down these things. A lot of prosecutors out there that are pushing cases on people have inside situations. But being as though that you don't got the ability to get inside those rooms, you won't be able to bring the information up and the things about these people. They're not going to allow it. You got to know somebody. That's what they say. It's about who you know. It ain't about what you got. It's about who you know. Because if you know what's going on, you can bring the information to light. You see how things have got a lot quieter on that side over there. They was on Trump's heels. It got a lot quieter. Now the focus is on them. The people that's pushing these cases, that's who to focus on now. Ain't that kind of odd? These people was on the news talking about how they putting so much pressure on everybody and how they going to make sure that Fulton County, whoever does crimes in Fulton County, are going to pay the consequences. Now, the people that's pushing that is facing consequences. Ain't that funny? It's their game. But when the game get reversed on them, it's a whole different ball game. Somebody else is behind this. And Trump's sitting back right now laughing at him. Because he's going to find the holes in the case. You got to understand, Trump comes from being around these people that have law degrees. If I'm not mistaken, his sister was a federal judge or a lawyer. So they know the game. That's why when he's stating to the world that these charges are fake, but us as the outside people looking like, oh man, he did this and he did that, these charges got to be real. They understand by presenting things through the media to us that we going to automatically look at you like you guilty. They understand that. That's why they push things through the media a certain way. Because they see that by them presenting it to us, our brains are programmed to take it in a certain way when it's presented to us a certain way. And then we take a look at like automatically, this person is wrong. That's the first and foremost when a situation comes through the media and how they hype it up and whatever they say along with it, that it's wrong. Like they said, Trump had the collusion. They was pushing it through the media saying how much it was a collusion, right? But once the process went through the legal process, nothing came out of it. Y'all got to pay attention to that. Once the legal process went through, nothing came out of it, but the whole entire world looked at it like it was a collusion. The mind games that they play with us as the people because they know we don't understand. They look at it like they have the law degree, so we not going to understand because we didn't go to school for it. We not studying what they studying. We are the game. But we don't understand that. We are the game. Just pay attention to it, man. It's going to come down to more things coming out. I guarantee you that things going to work out for Trump. They worked out for Lucci. You feel what I'm saying? It's just Thug is in a situation where his trial has already started, but it can happen for him too in the middle of his trial. These are the major cases that she presented to the world. Young Thug, YFN Lucci, and Trump. The major cases. When everybody knows that the Atlanta judicial system, which the whole judicial system through the world is messed up, but the Atlanta judicial system is out of whack. But she came in there with this image to fix everything up, and everybody's thinking that she is correcting things, which she might be doing some things to a certain extent, but you got to understand, people in position use their power to the way they want to use it. That's just how it go. When you get a certain type of position, you going to push your position no matter what position it is. You might extend the line a little longer than you're supposed to do it. That's just the human nature. Because you trying to put your foot on the situation and let whoever know that you running this. But you know, it's a few people in the world that can understand that this game is rigged. It's a few people that are in front of these situations that when they see it, they understand that the game is rigged. The game is lined up to fit them. But when you poke holes in their game because you might know the game, it throw a monkey wrench in they play. And really though, they don't like that. Because they expecting don't nobody know this game like we do. And it's been proven over and over and over that they got the up on the situation. People don't want to fight back. It's a lot of cases that people get charged with certain things and their cases get presented, right? And they got a chance to beat the case. They got a chance to knock the case out, but you got your lawyer telling you you don't have a fight. But Trump got some bad lawyers in the game. And them lawyers is telling him, listen, you got to fight in this situation. You got something here. So you got to understand, Trump know what it is, man. The games that they playing, right? They playing it with the wrong one with Trump. Because Trump is going to be all over top of them, man. And now that this thing came out, it definitely ain't looking too good for her. You know what I'm saying? I can see it now. Going where as though they drop her off the case and strip him off the case. And, you know, things go a little different for Trump. That's what I'm seeing. That's in my opinion.
Denies anything improper. Prosecution, but she denies anything improper. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
I'm Courtney Bryant. This is the first time Willis has responded to a motion asking the court to dismiss all charges in the election interference case, accusing the DA of a conflict of interest. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis has spent the afternoon poring over the 176-page response. There's a lot in there, Randy.
There was a lot, Courtney. Yeah, Fani Willis went to great lengths in her response to hopefully to convince Judge Scott McAfee there is no need for a hearing February 15th to decide whether this relationship is fatal to the criminal case. But one defense attorney is already challenging the DA's response. The allegations stem largely from a contentious divorce involving a key prosecutor in the Trump election interference case. Nathan Wade's estranged wife accused him of having an affair with DA Fani Willis, while at the same time Willis paying him $650,000 so far to run point on the high-profile racketeering investigation. Attorneys for Michael Roman, one of the remaining 15 defendants, accused Willis of personally profiting from those payments because Wade paid for their vacations to California and the Caribbean. Two other defendants joined the motion to dismiss the entire case.
The indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
But in her response, Willis called the allegations salacious, based on public relations strategy, not legal argument. She included a sworn statement from Wade, the first time he's talked under oath about the allegations. Wade did admit a personal relationship with Willis, but one that started in 2022, months after he was hired as a special prosecutor. As for the amount of money he's made in the case, Willis explained, quote, Special Prosecutor Wade made much more money than the other special prosecutors, only because Wade did much more work. She included many examples of Wade's legal experience, even pointing out that the defense attorney who filed the motion suggesting he was unqualified actually endorsed him in 2016 when Wade ran for a judgeship, praising his experience. Now, that attorney, Merchant, late today filed a response to Willis challenging the timeline of the DA's admitted relationship with Wade, among other points. At the moment that February 15th hearing is still on, Willis and Wade still subpoenaed to testify.
Well, another judge asked Fani Willis what she was thinking with regard to a different issue, a fundraiser that she held. Obviously, Ashley Merchant's hoping that perhaps this judge might think the same thing about this thing.
Yeah, with Burr Jones, exactly. Another unforced error. Fani Willis has been criticized for having this relationship. But again, it's going to be up to the judge here, not just to decide whether this is a conflict of interest, but whether to even hold the evidentiary hearing, because that could be a far greater impact on the case if Fani Willis is under oath answering questions about this relationship.
All right. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
We'll be watching for it.
Randy, thanks.
That's right. As Randy just mentioned, the U.S. House Judiciary Committee has now subpoenaed Fani Willis.
House Republicans say they want to know whether Willis used grant money meant for an at-risk youth program for unrelated expenses. The committee chairman, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio, says the DA ignored earlier requests to hand over the documents voluntarily.
And we
Yeah, so they want to know, man. They want to know, man. So they're going to dig into that real heavy, man. But I want to know what y'all think about it. And leave a comment, man. Let me know how y'all feel about it, man. Is she wrong in this situation? Or is she right? Let me know, man. It's your boy DZ, man. Hit that subscribe button. Share this video. Hit that like button, man. It's not about the setback.